Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Get Hired with Outvise. My name is Tora Karlborg, Community Manager at Outvise, and I'll be your host for today. Now, through this webinar, Get Hired with Outvise, we just want to offer our current experts and any new freelancers to our platform a bit of transparency about our processes and how things work here at Outvise, and also to improve your chances of landing a project with us. Now, before we begin, I would just like to offer those new here a bit of background about Outvise. So Outvise is the largest freelance platform for telecom, media, and tech projects, and it's based in beautiful Barcelona, Spain. The company was founded in 2014 and is now present in more than 40 countries and now encompasses almost 34,000 freelancers. As I mentioned, my name is Tora and I'm a community manager and I'll be your host. And with me today, I have our speaker, Peter Sikos, a well-versed recruitment consultant at Outvise. Peter, do you want to say a few words about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Tora, and welcome everyone. I'm happy to host this webinar for you, those who are interested. My name is Peter. I've been working at Outvise for 1.5 years now as a recruiter. So we would just like to put our expertise into this webinar to show everyone who is interested to join our platform how basically the process is going. Actually, it's going to be really easy, you will see, and what you may expect from being involved in any process with Outvise. So
thank you, Peter. Now, before we actually begin, I would just like to discuss today's agenda, just so we all know what to expect. So we'll start off with Peter just explaining to us a bit about how to properly register on the platform, how to apply to an opportunity, and what to expect after you actually apply to the opportunity, the recruitment process, the role of scouts in our network, how to actually receive payment after you finish the project, and then I'll discuss just a bit about how you can improve your chances of landing a project with us. And then finally, we finish with any questions that you may have for me and Peter. So without further ado, Peter, would you like to start off with explaining to us how to register and all that on the platform?
Yes, exactly. Let me just quickly choose to my screen and
yes, absolutely.
Please confirm that you are seeing it.
Yes, all good.
All right, perfect. So basically, as you could see, well, it's a very simple web address. What we have is called outvise.com. And what you could see here, if you just click on login, this is what is important for you as freelancers. You can log in as a freelancer, you can log in as a client as well, or you eventually, if you haven't signed up yet, you can also just click on here and to sign up. Actually, the signing up is pretty easy. Please just be aware that we are talking about freelancers, so but you should choose always here as an option is the expert sign up and not the client sign up. Obviously, those are our clients. So you just click here on the expert sign up. And now it brought me actually, as I already logged in with my own personal email address, it brought me to my interface, my user interface. Actually, as an expert, this is what you are going to see. You can also add the pictures here. You can edit every time your email address. You can edit also obviously your title, what you are holding at the moment. And what is really important for us is to see when we are checking on our database of over 33,000 experts we have in our database. And when we are checking on it, it's really important for us to see that you as an expert, you are available or not for any project. So basically here you can set up your availability. Here it shows green, it's pinned green. It means that you are available. And it's also saying availability change saved. I'm green because I'm available, but I can even set up that maybe until the end of the month, I have another running project. And then it means that for the next 1 week, I won't be available. However, you can even turn off the job offer notifications. I don't really actually recommend it, because we have many projects where though we are sourcing, we are searching for people, but maybe actually they will start in a few weeks and maybe in 1 or 2 months. So even though that you are busy at the moment, it doesn't mean that by the time you end your project, you wouldn't be able to find your new opportunity with us after it. So let's just keep it like this, that we are viable. And then what you can set up after signing up, the most important, as you could see here on the left side, is to have a CV. It's important to have a CV because obviously we are getting all the data from what you have in your CV, and whatever area of expertise you have, whatever industry experience you have, or any project you've worked on, we always recommend anyone to actually have an updated CV. Every time if you gain a new skill, if you have a new certificate, if you have just simply 6 months working on any relevant project that is relevant to your area of expertise, please always just click on here, go to your CV. You can see managing an account. Now it dropped me out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back quickly, and I will show you what I was just talking about. So you could see here, this is where we were, just for you to see on the wall. And you can click here, manage your account. And basically it's basic profile setting. You can add any text here about add a text about me. You can write here just, hey, I'm experienced, I don't know, I'm an experienced recruiter with 10 years of experience. I'm looking for freelancing projects, for instance, or I'm an experienced data scientist with 8 years of experience from some geographical regions. You can name Europe, Middle East, whatever. This is data, and we are working, of course, with the data you are providing to us. This is what I would like to stress here, actually. You can always upload a new CV, as you could see. You see, I uploaded my CV 2 days ago. So once you update a new CV, and you will have maybe even 5 CVs in our database, please make sure that always the one what is the most updated one is the CV what you're setting up as a default CV, because it's going to be really important to us to see your latest CV. We can find every CV you have in our database, but for any application, as that's the first thing we see your CV, is important that your updated CV will be the CV what is the default one. You can add different language skills here. We have hundreds of languages set up here. On a scale of 5, you can indicate what is your knowledge in these languages. You can also have the opportunity. You can even turn it off that I offer freelancing services, and then you can turn it off. It means that we will reach you out only at some full-time positions we may search for, and then you won't have any notification about freelancing projects. However, mostly, of course, we are operating with freelancing projects. You can have several setups here. I also recommend you to have this notification on, or this option on, that you are ready to listen any offer. However, there is another opportunity that you can indicate that an average running project for 3 months, my average daily fee would be this and this. You can also choose, for example, I put 800 euro here. You can use USD, Euro, British pounds, or South Africa rands. The reason we have these currencies here is that we are running a lot of projects in the Middle East. They are mostly invoiced in US dollar, and we are cooperating with several projects also in the United Kingdom and in South Africa as well. You can put also several other things what you think could be relevant to your area of expertise. That's what I'm saying. Relevant experience. If you want to add something, you can choose amongst many. Well, actually, you can add as much as you want, and you always have to indicate the basic important projects about it. It's good because it's giving you a better visibility on in our database, and maybe we don't need to actually open up your CV just to see what kind of experience you have or any relevant project you have. Again, I recommend you to provide also this data to us. Then what else we have here is that in case of the full-time positions, you can also indicate what was your level of responsibility, what you were taking care of. So like it was like a manager or director or a business unit director or even some C-level position. And this is also giving us a better understanding of your profile. So the most important thing is that there are several skills. When you are signing up and you upload your first CV in our database, based on that CV, you will be given some skills. You can add maximum 30 skills. And based on the CV, there will be some offered skills. And actually, we recommend everyone to review them and to add as much skills as possible. Obviously, if I would click here, you could see that, well, of course, randomly, I just put human resources, but let's say I also add some business intelligence skill. And then if I just click on here, it's actually as a tag for us as business intelligence, but here you can indicate several other skills, and of course on a scale of 5, like what kind of experience you have inside this domain of business intelligence. So as you could see, we have a pretty long list. Let's say that I have experience in data science or competitive intelligence, data gathering, or let's see, Power BI. And then you just click on done. And what you will see is that now I have 20 recommended 20 skills instead of 16 what I have. And you could still see that my biggest experience, you could see this half blue ring. My biggest experience is actually linked to the human resources. And for business intelligence, well, I'm still quite a junior based on all the skills I have. So my biggest skill family is linked to the human resources. What I wanted to actually share with you here, because we are talking about how to get your position. If you go to my applications, let's suppose that I applied for a position yesterday, and you could see any notification here saying that all good for now. We will give you feedback as soon as possible. You have you have applied for this opportunity 1 day ago. You will, anytime you are applying for a position, you will receive an email from us. Always check, please, also your spam box, because it could land there. And actually, if you just go back to the wall, you will see all the open opportunities. We are listing every openings here for you. Usually in randomly, the way it is seen for you. It is actually the order of opening, and the freshest opening is the first one always on the list on the top. So let's see that 40 minutes ago we opened the position as an expert in data science. And based on the skill set, what I just also added, that I have some data science, business intelligence skills. It is also giving you a ranking that this may interest you. Obviously, I don't have any data engineer skill. So, for example, what we posted 2 hours ago at the senior data engineer position, also in Germany, and maybe it requires even German language. And I don't speak German, it is giving us just a ranking that it would be a wide guess if I'm actually applying for this position. And as we come here to expert in data science, we can click on, let's say, check it. We see the most important data anyway about every single position. What is the mode? Let's say it's remote. We see a position here. This is remote and on-site. Hybrid, it basically also means that that position could be executed remotely, but maybe it would require some traveling to the site of the project. But we could also see the duration and, of course, the region. Usually, when we are talking about region, it is the country what is given where the project is running, or the city itself. So let's just check this expert in data science. We will see all the other positions. This is not a real position, guys. So I'm just sharing a random old searches of ours. So it's not an active position. If we would have some data scientists with us now. Basically, you could see the purpose of this role, some basic details maybe about our client, the responsibilities are also listed. Please always read through it carefully. You could see also the requirements, the experience, the competences, what you need to have. If you click on apply, we already receive your application at this point. However, I recommend everyone to finish the application saying that you can indicate your daily fee request. Let's say you would like to have 600 euros per day. Then you have almost every opening what we have. We do have also some we call this key questions of the application, where all of the applicants should answer them. It's also usually some relevant question about the experience, but it helps a lot us in order to better evaluate the profile for that specific application. So, for instance, maybe you are based in Germany, but the position is in Spain, and maybe it's a remote position, but maybe it's written in the job ad that maybe it would require some traveling. So it's also asking, are you willing to relocate to the project's location if needed? And you can say yes or no. We can also ask which country are you currently based in, just to give us some hint about your 3 latest projects as a data scientist. And let's suppose that you answered all these questions. You can also add any relevant project, what you had. I also recommend you to do it because, again, we will have better understanding. Maybe you could share something with us here, what is not on your LinkedIn profile or in your CV. And that really, it's really an additional help for us, I must say. Yeah. Because again, we are working with the data what you are providing, and also what is in your CV. And it always has something what must be actually consistent with your experience. That's the most important for us. And then also at the end, you can it's a very important detail for us. Let's suppose the project starts in 2 weeks, but you are available only in 1 month. So you can keep it like as soon as possible. But in this case, you just put that you are available, let's say, from the very 1st of May, or let's say the 2nd of May. Yeah. And you just send the answers, and then you will have also an email notification about it. And you can also see here on the list that you applied for the position. And if you go to my hub here, you also have some blog messages here, or some yeah, mostly some articles also from our website, from our network, our collaborative network, or our scouts, or some of our business partners are posting here. So so yes, basically the most important is you are always notified with emails whatever is happening to your application. And of course, if we need any detail from you, then obviously we are going to ask you, reach you out in email, or eventually on WhatsApp as well, in order to make it as fast as possible. So basically, this is what I wanted to tell you right now. So Tora, you may move forward to our next
absolutely
topic.
Okay. Peter, if you want to just highlight some of what you said.
Yeah, I'm sure. So the most important is that you have an updated CV. Like I stressed it, it's really important that the updated CV what you have should be a CV what is reflecting your experience. Okay, so for us, it's not, if it's not a relevant experience, maybe you switch career several times, or twice, 3 times in your life, because maybe you're a senior person. But what is important for us is that the information of your area of expertise for the position you were applying, it should be reflected in your CV. So, and every time you can update the CV, just please make it default, so we will have a better visibility and quicker visibility. Check always our viable projects. I saw there was a question here also about the newsletters. So basically, if we have any newsletter, what is matching all the data what you have in your CV, all the skills, the projects you are indicating to us, you receive the newsletter. We are offering you a new opportunity. We also have some weekly digest as well, Tora, if I'm not mistaken. It's yes, and what is really important, not only apply to the position what we have, but also make it like a full application, indicating your desired daily or hourly fee, indicating your availability. These are really important for us, as much as also answering the key questions of the application, because they are all specific questions to the application.
Peter, do you want to elaborate a bit more about how scouts come into play in the recruitment process?
Yeah, so yeah, we can actually jump to the recruitment process, because obviously I mean, this is where the magic starts to happen, right? After someone is applying for a position. Well, let's suppose you applied for a position, talking about this data scientist position I just shared with you. The recruiter in charge is checking on your CV, checking on your availability, the fees matching with the budget of our client, and your skills are also fine. You have those skills we need. What happens now, right? So basically, we keep in touch with you, most probably just to check on the basic stuff what you provided to us. Having an initial call with you. It's a very short informal interview. especially if you are a new applicant, or meaning that you are a new a brand new user of our site and you never been involved in any recruitment process with us in the past. So we have an initial call with you to see if we were on the same page, and then we are moving forward first, we are shortlisting the best candidates, and of course, then we are sharing these candidates with our clients. At that point, every time if there is an update on the status of your application, you receive automatically an email from Outvise, from your recruiter. And if any additional information is needed to your application, or to the whole process, we always reach you out. And this is where what Tora asked about the Scout process and the Scout interviews, it comes to the picture. So let's suppose that you are having a very specific a very specific area of expertise, again, staying a data scientist. And at some areas of expertise, mostly some technical areas, we actually, if it's possible, in order to better evaluate your profile, we are running a technical interviews. So before you would have an interview with our client, we are also running an interview between you and an expert of ours, like a very senior expert of ours. Let's say we have one data scientist who is running these technical interviews. These are very short, maximum 30-minute interviews, I would say 15-30-minute interviews, in order to get a neutral and an objective picture about your technical assessment. Obviously, we as recruiters, we are not running tests with you. We are not giving you any questionnaires to answer. We are relying on these people, these experts of ours, in order to assess your technical skill set, and they are evaluating it. And in order to give a stronger image of you to our clients, we may run this interview. Again, it's only at some areas of expertise, not every case. And once you've been assessed for a technical interview, and you will have 5 or 6 different applications afterwards, we are not going to run this technical interview every time. We will have it. We will have the feedback in our system, and of course, when you have an application, we will obviously use it in order to make you a better position at the application process. Obviously, after we presented your profile to our client, it's up to them in what way they are obviously about to have an interview with you. Of course, nowadays, and because of the projects we are working on, it's an online interview, it could also happen that after this interview, it's up to the position, up to the client, up to the project. They may want you to have maybe like a kind of, if not even a test, like a workshop, to assess a workshop with them. It happens time to time, and of course, but it is based on several circumstances. And yes, this is about the process itself. And well, what happens after is basically, if you're the lucky one, hopefully our client would like to work with, then obviously what we are doing is get the feedback as soon as possible. We are very pushy with our candidates, but I must say we are also very pushy with our clients, because it's everyone's interest, obviously, to get as soon as possible all the information and all the feedback to get the decision as soon as possible, in order to see if we could place the person for the project. So let's suppose that you got an offer, then we are in touch with you about the offer. The main purpose is that clearly, in case of a freelancing project, you are signing the contract with Outvise, and therefore the payment will be will also go through Outvise. So at the end of each month or after each assessment you have to do for the project, maybe if it's a long-term project and it requires only a few days per month from you, so you have to be able to invoice basically, and send the invoice to Outvise, and then you will be paid for your project from Outvise directly.
Okay, thank you so much, Peter. Well, you already mentioned a bit about the payment, but is there anything else would you like to elaborate a bit more about payment, or did you mention all your?
Yes, well, basically, the main thing is that the consultant will submit an invoice at the end of each month, like I said, and they have to detail here. We are also detailing the process when they are signing the contract, like how it should be. Of course, it's up to each project that they need to provide something else out of the timesheet as well. Maybe they have to also provide a sheet to our client at the end, not only to Outvise. So it's up to each project, but of course it is set officially how and by what the invoice should be generated. And once the client is also proceeding with the payment, and of course saying okay for the work hours or the work days, then in maximum 3 days, we are also paying. Once the client is also paying for us, we are also paying you out in a maximum 3 days. And you may have any question, of course, with the payment process. The best way and the easiest way is to contact the recruiter who was in charge of your application, and he or she will be able to help you out or address it to the person who is in charge of the finance administration.
Thank you, Peter. So we have some lovely statistics here from 2020. Do you want to explain a bit?
Yes. First, it's for 2021. So, so sorry for that. Yeah, it's a typo. We had 99 placements. It was still an exceptional year because of the pandemic. As you could see, our main focus is on the freelancing projects. We had 85 freelancers who gained their projects, and 14 different projects or job opportunities which were executive searches or full-time searches, or they landed at some interim projects. And wow, not surprisingly, as Tora also mentioned, what is the main area of expertise in terms of domains of Outvise. So yes, you could see that most of the placements we had from last year, they were in the telecom ICT area, some from the media and FMCG and some other industries which are not on our main focus. They were also in our playlist with 11 placements.
Thank you so much for explaining, Peter, for explaining everything. And now that we all know a bit more about how the platform works, registering, how the recruitment process works, I would just like to touch very, very briefly on how you can improve your chances of landing a project at Outvise. Now, as Peter already stressed, it is very important that you complete your profile on the platform, especially with an updated CV, profile photo, skill set, and also valid references, which we personally contact and check. And once you complete your profile, it's time to get active in the community. So at Outvise, we offer you the opportunity to participate in, let's call them activities. For example, you can send us a case study of a project you did recently or even a while back. It doesn't have to have been with Outvise. Or you can participate in a blog article with us where you basically just offer a few main points and our copywriter takes care of the rest. All the content we receive from you, we will in some format distribute to our network of clients and other experts and through our social media channels, emails, newsletters, even our website. And well, anything we publish that is yours, we will of course share it with you first and give you credit through LinkedIn tagging or tagging your profile on Outvise. This is just a way that you can highlight your profile a bit more and just a bit broader. And we are always thinking of new ways in which you can get active in our community and ways we can engage with you. For example, we will also launch a podcast channel soon, and we're very excited to get our experts involved in that. So if this is something that you're interested in, please just contact me, Tora, your community manager, and I will give you all the details about it. So that's basically all from me and Peter. I now open the floor to any questions that you may have. I saw that we already had some questions. So yeah, let me have a look. Is there a newsletter or notification feature for new roles? Peter, I think you already mentioned that. Do you want to just repeat that quick?
Yeah, so again, the newsletters are always sent out to those profiles, those experts, which are evaluated as relevant experts for us. So again, I told you we are checking on data coming from your CV and also the skills you are adding to your profile. I didn't tell you, but obviously every time you are a newly registered member, manually one of our team members is going through all the new registered ones, and then it means that once this so-called onboarding process ends, checking on your CV and yes, your experience in general, we may add some additional tags, also skills to your profile. Again, in order to make a clear picture about who you are. And based on all these tags and information, we are sending out newsletters once we have a new opening where your experience might be relevant. And also we have like a digest letter weekly.
Thank you, Peter. And we have a question from Alexander. How detailed should the CV be, with picture or without a picture?
Yeah, well, we are not judging anyone by picture or not picture. It's absolutely not relevant information for us. If you wish to have a picture, go for it. If you don't, it's fine. Without picture is perfect for us, but make sure also when you are signing up and you set up your profile, you can also add your LinkedIn page. I also recommend everyone to add the link to your LinkedIn page to put it on your CV as well. And well, details, again, we need the relevant details. We don't need 10-page novels from you. We don't need to have a 2-page presentation on a 10-page CV. What we need is to see the relevant information of your area of expertise, the relevant projects you had, just with the keywords. You also believe they are the keywords, like what kind of softwares, applications you used or you developed, where, how long the project took. Yeah, basically this kind of information what we are looking for. Keep it keep it short, but with the most meaningful information. What you would also just shortly present what was your project or your position.
And what format should it be? CV,
Always in
Word,
PDF.
or PDF? All right.
Yes, exactly.
And we have a question from Sanjay. When a project is in a different country, who will arrange for visa travel and accommodation from your country of residence? Is it to be included in your fee, or how does all that work?
Well, obviously it's not from our side, it's not included in the fee. First of all, every project what we are opening, and this I would like to really highlight because it's important for the experts to understand the project, the information we have for the project. These are all coming from our clients. Our clients might be open. For instance, there is a project, let's say in Dubai, in Middle East. Maybe they say we need someone from because there might be time to time on-site visits for the project. We need someone who is already based in the United Arab Emirates or in the neighboring countries. Clear. Or they would say, yes, it requires on-site visits, and we are open also to people coming out of the Middle East area, and we will arrange the travels and the visa process. In this case, it's always up to our client. Not everyone is doing. It could be also project specific. Unfortunately, I must say, even some cases when we have remote projects, there might be some diplomatic issues between the nationality of our candidate and the country of working. So there could be, unfortunately, it could be also maybe, it's very rare case, but it could happen. It already happened in my experience, that one candidate couldn't be considered because there is a diplomatic freezing between the two countries, but it's always up to the project owners. I mean, at the end, that our client, if they are willing to relocate eventually, or willing to provide travel fees, and if willing to give support for travel and accommodation fees, it's always out of the daily fee or hourly fee. So if, for instance, the daily fee 600 euros per day. Obviously, what is coming with the traveling and then the accommodation, it is paid further on top of it in most cases.
Thank you, Peter. We have a question from Anonymous. Where do I see the updates on my application?
So you see it always on your hub. As I was sharing it with you, you could see it on your hub. What is the status of your application, and you always receive email. If by any chance, we at Outvise, I already said, I guess, we love working as most efficient as possible. We appreciate the time of our experts, and we appreciate also our own time and efforts putting in everything in it. So obviously, we are keen to give you updates as soon as we receive anything from our client. If it could happen, yes, it could happen that the clients are delaying maybe 1 week with the project, what was supposed to be a bit faster in terms of decision making. But just think about it, that many times we are working with other with consulting firms, and their end client is also another company, and basically they also make some turns in order to decide about our candidates, but we are kicking them. And every time we write an email, and if it's super urgent, we also reach you out on WhatsApp, of course, and eventually on LinkedIn. I didn't mention it, and Tora, you neither. Just talking about the updates, it just came in my mind now that it's not only newsletters where you can follow up all the openings. I encourage everyone to enter your Outvise account and check on the openings, because maybe it's already there, but the newsletter was not sent out, because maybe it takes, I don't know, 2-3 hours later we send out the newsletter. And also follow us on LinkedIn, because every single opening we have, we are posting it on LinkedIn too. So that's just something something just to mention, because it's important.
And we have a question from Julia. How long can an application remain open before being closed or put on hold?
So how, sorry, can you repeat the question, because I didn't understand the beginning.
How long can an application remain open before being closed or put on hold?
Yeah, well, nice topic. We put on hold sometimes applications. It's not the application we put on hold, we put on hold the search of the project, because maybe it's going to be delayed. It's just postponed with uncertain time. And of course, every time we are advising our candidates. Usually, if we don't have any specific date about when the project will come back alive, or what is the expected starting date, or when they launch the project, after about 1.5-2 months, by 2 months by process, we close it. And we let the candidates know that it's delayed, and if we will know more, we will let you know, and then we're gonna open a new search with the same criteria. And this is the on hold part. And then how long it could be open is the same. Sometimes we are sharing only 3 candidates for one project, and maybe the process is delayed. Maybe they are running even 2 interviews with the candidates. They present it to the end client, the final client, and then it could be 5 days, it could be 5 weeks, it could be even 3 days. Sometimes we open something on Tuesday, and by Friday we already have the placement. It's always up to the client, up to the circumstances at the client.
Thank you, Peter. Now we have one last question from Christian. On average, how many interviews shall I make on top of the initial call with Outvise before project start? Yeah,
good question. Usually it's one online call with the client. Always goes through Zoom, Teams, or Google Meet. And in most cases, I would say 80% of the cases, it's the client interview what we have after the first Outvise interview. Again, some cases we also assess a technical interview with some candidates up to the project criteria, and eventually after an interview with the client, sometimes they are stressing to make even a workshop at some cases.
Okay. Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, that's all we have for you today. Again, thank you, Peter, for all your knowledge, and thank you everyone for attending. It's been great. Our next webinar will be in May. Check our updates for the next topic, and thank you again, and we'll see you there.
Thank you.